is not a drill, this is real. This is not a drill.
No, it ain't. Can you hear me?
This is not a drill.
Sounding fine. Can you hear me?
This
I'm an
is not
echo.
a drill.
No, it ain't.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No, it ain't. I'm assuming you can. All right, you can hear me. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome to This Is Not a Drill right here on KBLA Talk 1580. My name is Melina Abdullah, and we are glad to have you on. We're glad that this is not a drill. We're coming to you live from KBLA Talk 1580 on Crenshaw Boulevard, and also simulcasting to facebook.com/BLMLA. And of course, the best way to listen is through the KBLA app. Download it to your phone. Again, my name is Melina Abdullah. I'm professor of Pan-African Studies at Cal State LA's College of Ethnic Studies. I'm co-founder of Black Lives Matter Los Angeles and Black Lives Matter Grassroots, where I'm also director. Black Lives Matter Grassroots is the collective of 52 chapters worldwide, all doing the work to make Black Lives Matter. Somebody asked recently, well, what's the difference? What is Black Lives Matter Grassroots? Black Lives Matter Grassroots is the original formation. We are the boots on the ground. We stand on fret lines, not so much on red carpets. We buy buildings on Crenshaw and 43rd, not tucked away in Studio City where only white people can get to it, right? So I'm also Tandiwe Amara Amen's mama, and my co-host is my Baba, yo Baba, everybody's Baba, Baba Keeley. He is our national field coordinator for Black Lives Matter Grassroots and core team member of BLMLA, and he is world traveler #1, fresh off the plane, Baba. I don't know. I'd be talking about you. I say you're not 25. Maybe you are, because you hopped on a plane, hopped off a plane, hopped back on a plane, and now you're on the air this morning. Going to speak later this morning. Grateful for your work. Baba Keeley again is co-hosting this morning, and we want to thank you for joining us. We air every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. to bring to you on the ground updates, campaigns, news, challenges, and victories. That's what Baba Keeley teaches us, that we have to celebrate our victories from the front lines. But before we get into it, let's ground ourselves with our land, labor, and life acknowledgement. We invite you, if you're in a place where you can still yourself, where you can sit with both feet on the ground, place your hands in your lap, palms up, and take a deep breath in. And breathe out. This is our recognition that this country is built on land of people by the stolen labor and lives of our African ancestors. The land in which we inhabit, what is now known as Los Angeles, is physically situated in the original ancestral homelands of the Tongva, Kish, Chumash, Gabrielino people. We pay respect to the Tongva, Kish, Chumash, Gabrielino, and all indigenous people, past, present, and future, in their continuing presence in the homeland and throughout their historical diaspora. We pay homage to those who were stolen from Africa, placed in bondage, falsely named as chattel, and forced into labor, who were called slaves but never submitted as such, who've always been fully human with an unbroken connection to the divine and to each other. We honor our African ancestors for the still unpaid labor which built what is now the Americas. Take another deep breath in and breathe out. To both our indigenous and African forebears, we commit to the continued struggle for liberation and reparations, for it is only through freedom and justice that we truly give honor. Ashe. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about Black August. Today is August 2nd. It is Black August. What does that mean, you say? We say it is a time to study, fast, study, train, and fight. Fast, study, train, and fight. We're going to hop into that conversation with lots of folks. You should know that Black August is a commemoration, not a celebration. So people who want to invite you to a Black August picnic, Black August barbecue, no, we are fasting, studying, training, and fighting in honor of those who sacrificed their freedom for ours, in honor of our political prisoners, in honor of our martyrs, in honor of those who were behind the wall. And so on today's show, normally we do a more than a hashtag conversation with a family of someone who was killed by police or white supremacist violence. We know that white supremacy steals life in many, many ways. One of them is the prison system. And so we're going to have a critical conversation with our brother Ajamu, who is working to free Jay Burton. We're going to talk about what that means, what these prisons look like. He's also co-founder of the Black Lives Matter prison chapters. We've had 3 chapters now, and we have 2 active chapters in California state prisons. It's really important that we check in with our California state prisons because the Black August commemorations actually come out of California state prisons. Those who've been held captive in California state prisons are the founders of Black August. And so we know for many, many years, Black Lives Matter Grassroots and Black Lives Matter Los Angeles has worked with some of those founders. Comrade G2 used to be with us every single year. And of course, he's now an ancestor. But we make sure we check in with our folks and make sure that we engage in the kind of commemoration that's critical. We'll have a conversation with Brother Ajamu for our what's normally our more than a hashtag conversation. This is called our critical conversation. We'll check in with him. And then for our main conversation, it'll be a Black August conversation with Tandasizwe Chimarenga, who's a journalist, but also part of Black August Los Angeles. She's been doing this work for many, many years to free political prisoners and also uplift our political prisoners. So she'll be with us. We'll have a contemporary political prisoner, Sister Brittany Martin, who many of you were involved in her case. Brittany Martin is a mama and freedom fighter who was arrested in the 2020 uprisings, Black Lives Matter uprisings in South Carolina while she was pregnant with her 7th child. She was arrested and held for more than 4 years for simply speaking words because of community activation. Sister Brittany was brought home in November of 2024. We'll talk with her about what it is to be a contemporary political prisoner and why she chooses to fight. And then we'll have Brother Joseph Langdon, who also is freed from the prison system and is part of the Black Lives Matter prison chapters, who does work around Free Jay Burton. So we'll talk with the 3 of them about Black August. We'll invite you to call in at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. And of course, before we get into any of that, we'll hop into headlines with Baba Keeley. There's a whole lot to talk about. I want to talk with Baba Keeley, especially about our #1 headline. And thank you, everyone who heeded the call to action, that we know that Chris Smalls, Amazon labor union organizer and our brother who's been on the show several times. He's a brother to me, a brother to Baba Keeley. He is a dear friend. He safely returned home yesterday because he was held in an Israeli prison after attempting to bring food aid to Gaza. And so I want to check in with Baba Keeley on that, because he flew out to JFK to greet our brother Chris Smalls as he came home. So all of that is coming up right here on This Is Not a Drill. Get your dial-in fingers ready, 800-920-1580. There's a lot to talk about.
BLM's This Is Not a Drill continues when we come forward.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. And I thank you, thank you.
Exciting news, ladies! Always Discreet Boutique Bladder Leak underwear are available in black and printed design. Protect yourself with style. These fit and feel just like real underwear, and they give you up to 0 leaks, 0 odor. Designed for all shapes and sizes, they give you the confidence to be fully yourself. Don't let bladder leaks hold you back. Buy Always Discreet Boutique Bladder Leak underwear now.
Popsicles, sprinklers, a cool breeze. Talk about refreshing. You know what else is refreshing this summer? A brand new phone with Verizon. Yep, get a new phone on any plan with Select Phone Trade-in and My Plan. And lock down a low price for 3 years on any plan with My Plan. This is a deal for everyone, whether you're a new or existing customer. Swing by Verizon today for our best phone deals. 3-year price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate only. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to BLM's This Is Not a Drill. Now, back to the conversation.
How can I stand to stay where I am? Poor butterfly who don't understand. Why can't I fly away in a special sky? If I don't find my destiny soon, I'll die in your arms under the cherry moon.
Thank you for that gift. I don't think I've been able to listen to that song actually since Prince's passing. It usually makes me cry. Maybe just for a few moments I can listen to it. Under the cherry moon. Under the cherry moon. Thank you for that. So, my name is Melina Abdullah. You are listening to This Is Not a Drill, and we are hopping into these headlines with my Baba, yo Baba, everybody's Baba, Baba Akili, who apparently, even though I tease him and say, Baba Akili, you don't do that. Don't move that chair. You're not 25 no more. Apparently, he is 25 because he's been on 2 red eyes back to back, and now he's on the air this morning and then headed to speak at a protest at 10:30. and he's doing all these things. Baba Akili, what's happening with that?
Well, the movement keeps me vibrant. The movement keeps me going, and so I'm blessed to be a part of the movement. So, good morning to you, and good morning to the KBLA family.
Thank you, Baba Akili. What we got in East Harbor?
Well, thank you. Well, we're going to jump right into it. Yesterday, our brother Chris Smalls, the powerful union activist who founded the Amazon Labor Union, was greeted by hundreds of freedom-loving folks as he arrived back in New York after being kidnapped, beaten, and imprisoned by Israeli occupation forces. Chris was one of 21 folks aboard the Handala Freedom Flotilla, which was attempting to deliver food aid to the Palestinian people who are being starved in Gaza. The ship was illegally intercepted by the Israeli military in international waters. Chris went on a hunger strike while he was in prison, and massive worldwide outcry helped to secure Chris's release, and the entire effort reinvigorates the movement for free Palestine. And it was great
So,
to
Baba
be there.
Akili, I want to just thank you. Chris is your brother and my brother. We know him very well. He's an honor. I'm going to claim him as an honorary member of Black Lives Matter Grassroots. He's been on front lines with us over and over and over again. I was looking for when he was imprisoned, after he'd been abducted, and I spoke with him the morning just before his abduction, just before the ship was seized. And we knew that he was going. We knew he was on this Freedom Flotilla, which is absolutely necessary. And I know folks are saying they feel fatigue and they don't want to look at what's happening in Gaza. It's some of the most horrific video that you can imagine. I want us to just be clear that Israel has set up these borders that lock people in to this landmass. They can't get to Egypt. They can't get out. They can't get to freedom. So they're locked in. And then they've starved them. Imagine, all I can think about is animals in cages who are not fed. That's how they're treating the Palestinian people, as animals in cages that are not being fed. And so they're starving to death after they bombed hundreds of thousands of people. Those who survived those bombings are being starved to death. And Chris is a father, like you're a father, Baba Akili, like I'm a mother. And in the faces of these starving children, we see our own children. And Chris decided to bravely be a part of this delegation, this Freedom Flotilla, that was loaded up with baby formula and food and medical supplies to try to sail into Gaza, to try to get this food to the starving people of Gaza. It is desperate times, y'all. Desperate times. People are dying by the minute. We're talking about the possible deaths of over 2 million people. And so Chris was a part of this Freedom Flotilla, and he was abducted. He was the only Black man as part of this group of 21 freedom fighters, 19 activists, and 2 independent journalists. And he was the one who was brutally beaten and choked and held for 5 days. And we're so grateful for his sacrifice, because what his sacrifice did is actually elevate things. I know it might seem small, but my pledge to myself is I'm never going anywhere without my keffiyeh. I'm never going anywhere without my keffiyeh. And I wear it most of the time, but sometimes I will say, maybe it's not appropriate at this restaurant, or I might say it's too hot, or it doesn't match, right? I'm not going anywhere without my keffiyeh. I want to engage in conversation. I want to make sure people know that we say stop starving Gaza and free Palestine. And so, Baba Akili, thank you for being part of a couple hundred people, you said, who were there to greet Chris when he got off the plane at JFK. Tell us a little bit about that.
Honored to be there. Chris courage, compassion, and commitment is inspiring. And it was good to be there. And there were people there from all over the region. Some folks came down from Boston to welcome him. I got a chance to meet his mother and his brother and the members of the labor union that he helped co-found. It was a very spirited time, and it was just magical when you saw him walk through those doors, and people just rushed up to him, and it was really good. It was, first of all, it was good to see him safe. Secondly, it was good to see him in good spirits, and then finally, the kind of real human representation that that having him come through. So I was glad to be there. I've had a lot of honors in my life. I was honored to be there. I was honored to be able to be ejected from the Congressional Black Caucus meeting with President Biden to stand up and say "Free Palestine." So it was very moving to be there. He's in good spirits. He's in good shape. And we look forward to inviting him back to LA and maybe talking with him on the program again.
That's right. We heard from him this morning. So he's looking forward to coming here, and we're looking forward to having him. People who are following should follow Chris Smalls on Instagram and Labor Party USA, which is the political party he's founding. What else we got, Baba Akili? Because you're going to be somewhere at 10:30.
Yes, today at 11 a.m. at the Gloria Molina Park. Come out to rage against the regime. We're celebrating the community's victory of Chris's safe return home and how to map out our commitment to free Palestine. BLMLA will be there. I get to say a few words along with Brother Joseph and our Youth Vanguard. So that's today at 11 a.m. at the Gloria Molina Park, Grand Park in downtown Los Angeles.
That's right. That's right. And so again, doubling down on Palestine and standing together to make sure we understand that there is people power. There is people power.
To action. Call the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency at area code 205-942-9620. That's 205-942-9620, and demand the release of the body cam footage of the police killing of Jabari Peoples. On June 23rd, Jabari was shot and killed by police after the officers approached him in the park while he was sitting with his girlfriend. The autopsy confirmed that Jabari was shot in the back. The next court hearing for Jabari's case is set for Monday, August 4th at 9 a.m. at the Jefferson County Courthouse.
And we want everybody to follow the work of our Black Lives Matter grassroots Birmingham chapter, who's been leading the organizing on the ground. You can follow them at blm.bham, and you can also follow BHAM Stands. Again, we are demanding justice in the name of Jabari Peoples.
Streets every Wednesday in front of the Hall of Injustice for BLM's weekly In Police Association's rally targeting District Attorney Nathan Hochman. Hochman criminalized activists while letting killer cops walk free and was elected with the backing and funding of the Police Association. So that's every Wednesday. So that'll be this Wednesday, August 6th. And of course, mark your calendar. Next Sunday, August 10th at 7 p.m. is our BLM monthly organizing meeting with a focus on Black August. Join us at BLM's Center for Black Power, 3423 West 43rd Place. Free hot dinners as we break our Black August fast, and fresh produce bags to take home. All are welcome except police, media, and politicians.
Yes, so mark your calendar for next Sunday. Remember, we're called in to double down on our organizing. That's the only thing we have to fight against the fascism that's plaguing the planet, to fight against Zionism, to fight against racism, to fight against capitalism. I'll say it. We also have a couple of quick headlines. I'm going to call these our Cliff Note headlines. We want to because of organizing. Baba Keeley and I were there as part of that convening last weekend in Cleveland, Ohio. Movement for Black Lives is an organization that brings in other radical Black organizations to do work and coordinate all around the world. We want to also send Sister Monique Wallace on her way and wish her. Sister Monique Wallace is one of our justice mothers. She is the mother of Megan Hockaday. Her body was laid to rest yesterday in Oxnard, California, Ventura County, California. Please make sure we remember Megan Hockaday in honor of her mother, Monique Wallace. And lastly, in honor of Black August, we honor our own Baba Hank Jones, who just celebrated his 90th birthday. He is one of the San Francisco Eight and serves on the weekend. More than 100 Panther elders gathered in Los Angeles to wish Baba Hank a very happy 90th birthday. What a blessing to be in the room with all kinds of folks, from Emory Douglas to Yasmin Majid to Sophia Elijah to, of course, our beloved Baba Hank Jones. When we come forward, we'll have a critical conversation with Brother Ajamu around Free Jay Burton. Much more to come right here on This Is Not a Drill.
BLM's This Is Not a Drill.
With BIN News Now, former President Joe Biden says minority communities are under attack by the Trump administration.
You know, they're doing it all
Melina,
with the help of a Congress that's just sitting aside.
Hey!
Speaking at the annual gala of the National Bar Association, which is the nation's oldest and largest network of Black legal called the Current, the most serious since the 1960s.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Prosecutors want a longer prison sentence for Sean Diddy Combs, who was convicted on 2 counts of transporting for prostitution.
Okay,
he faces up to 10 years per count. They're also filing his request for $50 million bail ahead of his October 3rd sentencing.
They cut it off. They knew what I was up to.
And Black Illinois Congressman Dave Davis is retired at 83 and will not seek a 16th term. He's endorsing State Senator LaShawn Ford to succeed him. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
One of the brothers came through, like, literally at the last few minutes.
How can you spark great learning experiences in your
And
classrooms today?
I'm here.
Join at thinkitup.org.
We should text folks. Does everybody know you on?
No, they don't. I literally just got this and came up here.
Radio, KBLA,
Okay.
1580.
Let's see if we can get that. Baba Keeley, you want to text Kareem?
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're celebrating our 4th anniversary. And this track right here is the gift one of our devoted listeners presented to us.
You get some information, get a true education to know. Ooh, yeah.
How cool is that? Having a member of our KBLA delegation write us a song about it. Wouldn't want to. Thanks to Cardell and everybody else for turning on KBLA Talk 1580. We love you right black.
KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Departments and their families. The J-Club Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833 KBLACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. The Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I go to the doctor. One day at the firehouse, I was so light I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, CONCOM, sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
BLM's This Is Not a Drill continues right now.
To Afghanistan, or maybe Pakistan, or like the gospel song, take me down to Egypt land. I'm an African living in America. I got plans, I'ma take them to another land. Maybe China or Japan, get a chance. I wonder if they ever met a proud black man.
One day I took a journey, I was looking for emotion. Something to reunite my soul with my culture. Providing solidarity, I say Asante. Thankful the creator won't let me get in my way. Blocks and barriers, we running through them. We the living, breathing example of what they call you Hulu. I'm a modern day warrior king like Shaka Zulu. Catch my whole movie on Hulu. Took a journey overseas, see my destiny. My people in the mud hut screaming rescue me. My desire to do the most made a better me. Blessings waiting on me, probably more than I would ever need.
I'm an African living in America. I got plans, I'ma take them to another land. To Afghanistan, or maybe Pakistan, or like the gospel song, take me down to Egypt land. I'm an African living in America. I got plans, I'ma take them to another land. Maybe China or Japan, if I get a chance. I wonder if they ever met a proud black man.
Matula told me I should take the struggle worldwide. 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 Malcolm taught us how to take the struggle worldwide. 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 Black people got the same struggle worldwide.
And we let that rock for a minute. That is King Zaid. That is our beloved brother Zaid, who is the godson of Matulu Shakur. And that's his piece for Black August. We wanted to make sure that we play that and follow his work. King Zaid on Instagram. Look, I am so overwhelmed. I got this big smile on my face because I didn't know if this was going to happen. For our critical conversation, we wanted to make sure we had dedicated time with one of my favorite people in the world, my brother from another mother, my comrade in struggle, who is one of the most courageous. And Brother Ajamu, I've never talked to you about this before, but you know, every time I start to feel heavy, I go, man, I don't know why I'm feeling heavy. Brother Jamu don't never feel heavy. And, you know you do sometimes because we talk about it, but like you lift me. And Brother Ajamu is he's the co-founder of our Black Lives Matter prison chapters. They should really just stop transferring you because everywhere you go, all you do is start a new chapter, right? So there we go. Because your chapter in Lancaster, you ain't there no more, but the chapter's still there, right? So the work actually spreads. So we're grateful for you. So we have for our critical conversation, we'll call him Brother Ajamu. He is with the Free Jay Burton campaign. People gonna catch on, but we want to make sure that we do as much as we can to protect you while you're inside. Brother Jamu, I just want to start by asking you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your story, because as we walk into this Black August commemoration, Black August beginning inside of our California prisons, right? But Black August is being a time when we uplift and honor our political prisoners. You are one of them. You went in when you were just 16 years old. Tell us about your story, please.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank you for everything you've done for me throughout these years, for being one of my closest comrades, my sisters, my big brother, Baba Akili. Y'all two have been holding me down for a very long time. So I want people to understand that you guys are really true to this. Not just for people that's in prison, but for the people on the street. Y'all sacrifice your lives every day. And I don't even know if people really understand or understand anything that you guys go through every single day. So first of all, I salute you guys for even staying strong for us, being a voice for the voiceless. So as you know, I've been trying to be a voice for the voices behind these walls. But let me tell you a little bit about my story. I come up in Watts, California. Back in 1989, I was arrested for a burglary that I participated in with a couple of my partners. And they bound me over to adult court for a murder. I've been fighting this murder for 36 years now. They said my fingerprint is on the gun. I've been trying to get this fingerprint for 36 years. They won't give me the fingerprint because the fingerprint isn't mine. Actually, it exonerates me from the conviction. I got caught up with a police gang, well, a sheriff gang called the Linwood Viking Sheriffs. And if you Google the Linwood Viking Sheriffs, you'll see that they caught up in a lot of stuff. But I'm one of the casualties of one of their the things that they've been doing to our inner cities when it comes to these police gangs and guys who grew up in gangs. There's been a lot of injustice and I've been just trying to fight. Everything's just been a long fight. I've been helping a lot of people throughout these years. And sometimes I try to figure out, well, maybe I was just put here for a reason, to become a voice for the voiceless, to fight for those who can't fight for themselves. I've been trained by some of the best since I've been incarcerated. But a little bit more about my story since I've been on the streets to here. I've been looking for people to help me expose my story. Black Lives Matter, grassroots, you guys been doing everything in your power to, expose the things that's been going on with me. And I try not to make this about me. I try to make it about a lot of other people who are trapped in these systems. And I'm not just talking about those who are innocent, actually factually innocent, but those who were convicted for things they did, but have received a time that just astronomical to the crimes that they in here for. So when people talk about political prisoners, especially Black political prisoners, they try to figure out what is a political prisoner. Well, politics plays a lot of roles in most of our convictions. So somewhere in many of our convictions, there's some political overtone that's there, that's connected to it. With me, like, I've been fighting since I was 16 years old. All I've been trying to do is get a fingerprint to prove that the fingerprint isn't mine. And for political reasons, they won't get that fingerprint to me. So, yes, I am today's political prisoner. I am one who's been fighting for many prisoners. So being that I've been fighting for prisoners, they put me in solitary confinement for a decade. and put me in solitary confinement for a decade was one of the ways they tried to break me. But as you can see, I'm still here, so they haven't done that. This morning, I was trying to get on the show through the prison tablet. They cut the tablet off. The tablets are on every single day, but all of a sudden, the tablets is not on this morning. But one of the comrades, they knew I needed help, and they reached out to me literally like 10 minutes before I came up here. So, Allah, God has a way of working wonders for us. So I'm here, to share my story. Anything you guys you want to know, just, I'm here.
Yes. Yes, we got a caller calling in. We'll take the caller now, and then when we come forward, I want to talk about what makes you a political prisoner. And there's a lot of parallels I see between you and George Jackson, right? But let's take this call from from Juliet calling in from Watts. What we got, Juliet?
Good morning, and God bless all you guys, all of you. Melina, I spoke with you and Dominique last week about my nephew and the gangs, and the sheriff's gangs, and the F-13s, and my nephew was 17. They sent him to Pelican Bay. Him and a few others, a whole lot of them. My heart goes out to that brother, because I be telling people we all need to keep in touch with all of our loved ones that's behind that wall. I've been doing this since 2003 with Dorsey Nunn, with Legal Services for Prisoners with Children, and All of Us to None with Susan Burton and A New Way of Life. I don't know if you remember, I was telling you guys, I've been speaking to you and Dominique for some years about my nephew and my son. It was a gang war with from 1997 all the way up until like 2001, when a bunch of them got caught up with the F-13.
Right. Sister Juliet, we want to say thank you for calling in. And you should come to the organizing meeting next Sunday. We don't have the power to open the prison doors. If we did have the power to do it ourselves, like just open them, Brother Jama would be home. But we do have the power to organize, right? And so we'd love for you to come and join us on Sunday, next Sunday, the 10th, so that we can continue to organize for the freedom of our loved ones, including your nephew. So please join us next Sunday, 7 p.m. at 3423 West 43rd Place. When we come forward, I know we got Sister Lynette on the line. We're taking your calls, but I also want to talk with Comrade Brother Ajamu about what freedom looks like and why he's being targeted as a political prisoner and how we win his freedom. More to come right here on This Is Not a Drill.
BLM's This Is Not a Drill, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Unapologetically progressive, unapologetically black. More now, BLM's This Is Not a Drill.
And we are in our critical conversation with Brother Ajamu about Free Jay Burton. That's the hashtag Free Jay Burton, Free JAYBURTON. We're talking with Brother Ajamu. Lynette is calling in. What we got, Lynette?
Oh, good morning. Thank you for taking my call, and greetings. And I have to salute all of y'all. You guys are really, really so necessary in these times, especially with Trump. I mean, the absurdity and the atrocity that we have to deal with him is I mean, come on now. To me, it's like him getting a Nobel Peace Prize and all this kind of crap nomination. Come on. Chris Smalls, the people that put the blockade against Israel and shipping over there because of what they do in Palestine, them folks get the nominations for a Nobel Peace Prize. And I just think during this Black August, more than ever, we need to be pressing our governors, our mayors, everybody to divest in the war, shelter, military, incarceration, detention, industrial complex. More money have been put into that big, beautiful bill to the tune of $180 billion. And we know that we have an injustice, atrocity, with this so-called justice system that we have that puts people that excessively sentences people in jail for minor crimes, and you can go down the list.
Sister Lynette, I love hearing from you. I'm trying to be considerate that Brother Ajamu may have to hop off. So I want to pass the mic back over. Can you stay on, Brother Ajamu, for just a sec?
Oh, yeah, we good. I'm going to keep it till around 9 o'clock.
Okay, great.
I just realized
Sister Lynette, thank you so much for the love. Brother Ajamu, I want to get to that question, and I think Lynette is also kind of embedding some of it, but I want to get to the question of what it means for you to be a political prisoner. And I said earlier, in some ways, you remind me of George Jackson, right? Because you were a child. You were a child when you were stolen from the community. You were 16 years old. You said 89, but we want to remind everybody that in 89, you were a child. You were stolen by a police gang. Right. And I say this to you all the time. I have no doubts of your innocence. But even if you were guilty, you've been in 36 years. Are you kidding me? Why are you not home? Why are you not home? Why are you not home? And I think that what you and I talk about all the time is it's your politics. Talk about what it means, what makes you a political prisoner. And we say free them all. And we want to start with our political prisoners.
Well, one thing the system realized that back in the 60s and 70s, J. Edgar Hoover said there would never be a rise of another black messiah. And every time they sense that the next black messiah is rising, they do everything to neutralize him or kill him or put him behind bars for the rest of his life. And I'm one of the ones that they put behind bars for the rest of my life. Like you say, since I was a child, 16-year-old, I'll be 53 in a few months. And actually, I was supposed to be going off for parole this month, but they came and said that I'm a high risk. And once they make you a high risk, the parole board would never parole you. Although I haven't been in any trouble in the past 6-7 years, but I'm still a high risk for some reason. Even some of the corruptional officers, I call them corruptional officers because, that's what they are. Even some of them even came out and said, if anybody need to be free, it's him. But the parole board don't see that because they see something different than those who not in the political spectrum of life. Those who, what I mean by that, those who deal with politics, they make money off us. First and foremost, when it comes to this mass incarceration, they make a lot of money off us. But with people like me, they don't ever want to free people like me because they feel that I have a lot of influence, and not influence for the bad things. Because if I was in here gang banged out the game and doing all kind of crazy stuff, constantly in a whole bunch of stuff that's just messing up my people, I would be one of the first ones that be let out the gate, because they need that influence to go out there to continue to influence those out there and corrupt their minds. So being that I'm opposite of that, I am deemed a threat. And it's crazy that I'm deemed a threat because I don't see it. But then again, it just depends on who you ask. But yeah, I do know that I'm very influential, but I use my influence to better ourselves, to educate ourselves, to uplift ourselves, because we are a people that we are good people, but a lot of our youth are it's like the blind leading the blind. And if I can give sight to the blind, then they don't want me out there. They want to, and I don't even want to use these guys, but Marcelli was just telling me something about the Menendez brothers. They want to let these guys back out, but they don't want to let me out. These guys is given life without parole, and I came in '89. They came around 1991, and they beat me back to the streets. I was 16. One of them was like 18, 21, but I'm still up in here. So, you got to factor in these things when you talk about politics, how I become a political prisoner. I become a political prisoner because they don't want to let me out. Many people that I done got out of prison, they're out there, living their lives. But also there's people who came way after me, and everybody's back on the streets. But I'm like one of the last ones that's standing up in here. So they done politicized my whole situation. They don't want to let me out. Their key thing is to break me until they know that I can't even walk or speak anymore. But obviously, everything they done, it hasn't worked so far. But I'm gonna continue to fight because I got people like you guys behind my back. You guys are helping me. You guys actually give me the strength to continue to move forward, because there's times that I just want to I'm tired. But I be feeling that too many people know me now, and I can't just, visibly appear to be tired. There's times I call you, Melina, I'll be like, I'm stressed out. I'm going through some stuff. But majority of the people don't know that about me. A lot of people think that it's kind of easy for me because I'm able to be there for them. But it's not easy. And my life hasn't been easy. It's very complicated. I'm in one of the most violent prisons in the state of California. And in this year alone, about 4 people got killed on this yard. About 4 people, 2 of them in front of me. So I'm in a very violent environment. So every day I have to fight to try to figure out another way to get closer to getting out of here. I don't believe the parole board ever let me go. I have zero faith in the parole.
I'm just looking at time, and I want to make sure we get this in, Brother Jamu. What do we do to support you?
Well, I had to. Right now I'm trying to get me another attorney. I have a GoFundMe page. It's to simplify it, you go to the GoFundMe page and you search Maya, Mayag, Mayag. You'll see a picture of me. That's to simplify that, because there's other GoFundMe pages, but they're shut down. I just don't want to be mixing things up. So it's you just do the search engine on the GoFundMe, Mayag, and you'll see a picture of me. You also can contact Melina through her social media pages. She know how she basically has she has a direct line on me, so she know how to get in contact with me. For those who want to support people like me, I don't take it. Everything I do. Remember, it's not just about me. It's about a whole bunch of us. There are many of us. A lot of people don't look at many people in prison as political prisoners, but once you start realizing their circumstances, there's a lot of politics behind it. So they will fall up in the political spectrum of becoming a political prisoner, because they politicize everything about us. We are losing our men to our young boys. First, let's start with that. We are losing our young boys to this system. And we got to find a way to combat this system, because there's nothing right. The man that run this country, he's been convicted of some sick stuff, but he runs the country. But you got people like me who've been sitting here for decades, who was a 16-year-old child, like Malene say child, 16-year-old child, been sitting here for decades, going on 4 decades. They don't want to let people like me out. But I'm going to continue to fight until I can't fight anymore. They would never break me. And I hope they listening to me. Y'all
They
would
will
never break me.
They will never break me.
Never.
Follow Free Jay Burton on social media. We'll make sure that we share out that GoFundMe and also donate, because we do need legal support to help you get out. Brother Jay, Brother Ajamu, I want to just thank you so much for all you do. One of the things that we didn't have time to do, but is talk about the victories that you've won. We have 2 brothers who are part of BLMLA now because you've been organizing, right? Prince Akili and Brother Kareem are both home and active with us. They are your folks. We know that you were mentored by the likes of Rochelle McGee and others inside the prisons. And we're grateful for you for being that for others. When we come forward, we're going to hop on this conversation about Black August with Tandasizwe Chimarenga. Brother Jamu's comrade Joseph Langdon will be on, along with our sis Brittany Martin is also going to be on. So if you're able to stick around, we'd love to have you on. More to come right here on This Is Not a Drill.
LA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Former President Joe Biden says minority communities are under attack by the Trump administration.
You know, and they're doing it all too often with the help of a Congress that's just sitting on the sideline.
Speaking at the annual gala of the National Bar Association, which is the nation's oldest and largest network of Black legal professionals, Biden warned that gains made during his term are being rolled back and called the current fight the most serious since the 1960s. Prosecutors want a longer prison sentence for Sean Diddy Combs, who was convicted on 2 counts of transporting for prostitution. He faces up to 10 years per count. They're also fighting his request for $50 million bail. Congressman Davis is retiring at 83 and will not seek a 16th term. He's endorsing State Senator LaShawn Ford to succeed him. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Let's be real. Student loans can be super stressful, but the Student Loan Empowerment Network is here to help with free one-on-one counseling, legal aid, and more. Learn more at studentloanhelp.dfpi.ca.gov or call 888-774-2227.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready? Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I was on sister's side. Fight the good fight. You know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
This is not a drill. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. This is real.
And we are on talking about Black August right here on This Is Not a Drill, KBLA Talk 1580. Black August is a month where we fast, study, train, and fight in honor of those who've given up their freedom for ours. My reminds us if we don't fight for our political prisoners now, then the organizers of today will be the political prisoners of tomorrow. And so we want to welcome to the conversation a sister who I hope everybody knows as really the current iteration of Ida B. Wells.
I knew you was going to say that.
Brilliant journalist, but You know, what I've been thinking about a lot, Sister Tandasi's way, is more than brilliance is character, right? And being grounded in a belief system and knowing what it is and doing everything that we can to contribute our gifts for what's right. And you do that, Sister Tandasi's way. And as you help to literally issue the call for Black Lives Matter, right? You reminded us of that. As you call us into ourselves, you remind us of that. I remember when you did that, one of the first media trainings we ever did, you were like, don't say that stuff they want to hear. This is what you say. You tell the truth. You tell the truth. Forget what's marketable. You tell the truth. And you've always told the truth. And one of the most beautiful things, powerful things that you do is as part of Black August to Los Angeles. And I wonder if we can just start with Tandasi's Way Chimaranga, and we'll also be joined by Joseph Langdon of the Black Lives Matter prison chapters, Brother Jamu still on, also of Black Lives Matter prison chapters, and Sister Brittany Martin should be joining shortly. But I want to start with Tandasi's Way, asking if you can ground us in, because a lot of folks are now catching on. It's Black August. I'm seeing all these flyers. Celebrate Black August with us. And I'm going, wait, have you read anything? Can you help ground us in what is Black August and how do we commemorate, not celebrate, commemorate Black August?
Well, first of all, thank you all for having me. Good to see you, Melina. Good to see you, Baba Akili. The thing that people need to understand about Black August is that, again, it is not a celebration. It is a commemoration. It's not happy Black August. It's a very, very heavy time period. And the reason for that is because it comes from a place where there is a lot of stress. There is a lot of heaviness. There is a lot of oppression. It comes from behind the prison walls in California. That is where it started. That is who it was started by. It was started in the 1970s by Black men inside the California prisons to honor their fallen comrades, Katari Galden, George Jackson, W.L. Nolan, Cleveland Edwards, and one other brother whose name escapes me at the moment. And I say that because this is a commemoration that came out of the prisons onto the streets. Political organizers and activists joined in solidarity with the brothers on the inside. And that's one of the ways that Black August began to grow, is by people on the outside showing their solidarity. And of course, as these brothers began to leave prison, they would remember their comrades and join in with this commemoration also, now that they were on the other side of the bars. So Katari Galden, W.L. Nolan, George Jackson, Jonathan Jackson, these were brothers in the California prison system who made a commitment to being a part of the Black liberation movement behind bars. They no longer engaged in criminal activity, or what they understood to be criminal activity, or why they understood, quote unquote, that they were criminals. And they made a commitment to be that wing or that arm of the Black liberation movement. You have to understand, in the late 60s and early 70s, in the California prison movement, still a very, very racist institution, still a very segregated institution, but the prisoners there were faced with indeterminate sentencing, meaning that there was no telling when they would come home. They could be sentenced from 1 year to life. There was no determinate end date. There was no, you get 5 years, or you get life, or you get 3 years, or you get 10 years. George Jackson was sentenced to 1 year to life for a gas station robbery. And the brutality in the prisons, when there would be fights on the yard, the guards don't break them up. They use high-powered rifles to shoot at the ground. But for whatever reason, whenever it was Black folks involved in the fighting, the bullets would always find their way into Black men. And so brothers would be killed, and there would be no accountability, killed with impunity. And after a certain point, the brothers in the prison system said, this is not going to be one way anymore. Again, I said, and I'll repeat, Black August is a very, very heavy time. It's a heavy month. And so the brothers said that It'll no longer be our wives who will be crying, our mothers who will be crying. Our wives will no longer be the only widows. If it's going to come down to death, it's going to be a two-way street. And after W.L. Nolan, Cleveland Edwards, and that one other brother whose name always escapes me, I believe Alvin Miller, after they were murdered January 13th, 1970, shot because of a fight in the yard. All three men died. And the guard who shot them was found to be not guilty, no accountability, released with impunity. A prison guard ended up dead. And three brothers, Fleeta Drumgo, John Cluchette, and George Jackson, were said to be the murderers. There was no evidence presented. As a matter of fact, if you scour the internet for the various documentaries on George Jackson, you'll come across where one person in the prison administration said, well, George was the only one who could have done it. That's how they got down, right? And so a worldwide movement came into being to free these soul dad brothers, because at that time in California, they faced the death penalty for the death of a guard. And it's from that movement of the soul dad brothers that we get Jonathan Jackson and we get an Angela Davis that we know of today, right? Because of that worldwide movement and the events surrounding it. So George Jackson, who was murdered in August, Jonathan Jackson was murdered August 7th, 1970. George would be murdered the following year, 1971. Then in 1979, a brother by the name of Katari Galden, who had been a comrade of George, part of the reason why the brothers were able to maintain their discipline and cohesiveness and maintain their commitment to being the part of the liberation arm in Black during their stints behind prison, i.e. collective study, imprinting upon the brothers that when they return to the streets, they can no longer prey on Black communities, that they must be involved in service to the community, in fighting oppression. These are the brothers who the other brothers behind prison wanted to honor during the month of August. And they would commit to studying during all 31 days. They would fast from sunup to sundown. And as part of their collective study, remember, you have to think back to the beginning of the Black Panther Party, when 16-year-old Bobby Hutton taught himself how to read, reading the Black Panther newspaper, functionally illiterate. So many of our young people have gone and continue to go through these schools not being taught a thing. When these brothers in the prison system committed to collective study, they noticed that in the month of August, there was lots of resistance of African people in this country to enslavement and oppression, right? They learned about the various slave revolts, such as Nat Turner's revolt, which took place in August. They learned about the Negro Convention movement, where Black people would come together to discuss, what are we going to do? Are we going back to Africa? Are we going to stay in the U.S.? Are we going to immigrate elsewhere? They learned about the birth of Marcus Garvey, who created the largest Black organization to date, the Universal Negro Improvement Association. They learned about Edward Wilmot Blyden. They learned all about the various Caribbean nations that either began armed struggle or got their quote unquote political independence from Britain, and in Nigeria, on the continent of Africa also, during the month of August. And so it's a time where they honor the resistance of African people in general and of their comrades in particular. And so it's a very, very heavy time period. Again, we're talking about brothers who stood up to the prison administration, who stood up to their racism, to their intransigence, and said, no, we're not going to accept this just because we're prisoners.
That's right. Thank you so much for that grounding. And again, the Black August practices are fast from sunup to sundown, very similar to Ramadan. Study, and we invite everybody to join Black Lives Matter Grassroots for Black August. Every year we read Blood in My Eye by George Jackson, which I think is really a powerful tool, especially in these moments of rising fascism and unmasked racism. Blood in My Eyes, an essential read. Fast, Study, Train. Somebody just posted, can you outrun the police? Right? We got to think about that. Like, for real, we got to think about our physical fitness. Train and fight. How do we commit ourselves to revolutionary struggle? We want to thank Tunda Sizwe Chimarenga for that grounding. When we come forward, we're going to continue the conversation, bring Joseph Langdon and Brother Ajamu into the conversation about what it looks like on the inside. And then I also want to make sure that we check in with Tunda Sizwe about all that's happening through Black August in Los Angeles. More to come. And of course, we're taking your calls. We see you on the line. We're still taking your calls at 800-920-1580. We'll come to you in just a moment when we come forward right here on This Is Not a Drill.
Exciting news, ladies! Always Discreet Boutique Bladder Leak underwear are available in black and printed design. Protect yourself with style. These fit and feel just like real underwear, and they give you up to 0 leaks, 0 odor. Designed for all shapes and sizes, they give you the confidence to be fully yourself. Don't let bladder leaks hold you back. Buy Always Discreet Boutique Bladder Leak underwear now.
Popsicles, sprinklers, a cool breeze. Talk about refreshing. You know what else is refreshing this summer? A brand new phone with Verizon. Yep, get a new phone on any plan with Select Phone Trade-in and My Plan. And lock down a low price for 3 years on any plan with My Plan. This is a deal for everyone, whether you're a new or existing customer. Swing by Verizon today for our best phone deals. 3-year price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate only. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Some sunshine or sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's one question every couple needs to answer. What if something happens to us? Kids, a house, a life you've built, but no estate plan? That's a risk you don't want to take. With Trust and Will, it's fast, secure, and easy to protect what matters most. Start your plan today at trustandwill.com. Use code RADIO to save 20%. Check it off your list. One less thing to worry about. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunity Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
BLM's This Is Not a Drill continues right now.
And we are in our Black August conversation, with Tunda Sizwe Chimarenga of Black August Los Angeles, with Brother Ajamu of our Black Lives Matter prison chapters, and also Joseph Langdon of our Black Lives Matter prison chapters. We have calling in one of your folks, Brother Ajamu. Prince Akili is on the line. Let's go to Prince Akili. Prince Akili, you there?
Yes. How you guys doing this morning? I'm here on the line.
Good to have you. You calling in to talk to your brother, comrade, brother Jamu?
Yeah, I'm here to talk to my brother. I'm glad to hear from him this morning. I seen the post when you guys put him and brother Joseph on a flyer. I was very excited to hear what the brothers got to say. And one of the things that I would like to cover, Black August is a very important month, for us all. I was also an ex-prisoner, and we have went through a lot of oppression, police brutality, over police harassment. And in the month of August, it represents the anniversary of George Jackson, and a lot of the things that George Jackson did bring to prisoners when we was in the situation of oppression and how we would ways to fight it. And one of the main things that we did was physical training, political studies, fasting, and understanding what is Black August and what does Black August mean to us. And one of the main things that it represented was freeing prisoners, and just giving freedom fighters acknowledgement of the greatness of what they brought to our people during a time when we dealing with systematic oppression, and reflecting back on enslavement that our people went through, well, to be more correct, shadow slavery, mass incarceration, institutional racism that actually lead a lot of Black men and brown men to incarceration. One of the things that I also would like to bring to acknowledgement is when we had the March on Washington, August 28, 1963, Civil Rights Movement, where Martin Luther King delivered a lot of our people and gave acknowledgement of this day. Also in Los Angeles, you had the Watch Riot, August 11th to the 15th, 1965, and it was a lot of just bringing people together and to unify each other against a lot of the murders that was going on in Los Angeles, especially with Rodney King beatings that stemmed it, and then also you have
and Prince Akili, I love the way that you're teaching, and for people to learn more from you, we want them to come to the Black August Black Lives Matter Los Angeles meeting on Sunday, August 10th at 7 o'clock. We'll be here to give your experience and also teach more. And we really want to thank you for calling in and sharing your love with your brother, Brother Jamu. Brother Jamu, did you want to say anything before we go to the next caller, Mikael, calling in?
Yeah, first, it's people like Brother not Baba Akili, but Prince Akili, Voodoo, Joseph, brothers like them who has been holding me down since they all got released from this trap that they was in for several years. There are testaments that no matter where you at in life, never limit yourself because you can make things happen. I knew that the brothers that I picked chose to help, carry this torch, especially to the streets, because, them torches are not lit anymore. We got to make sure that the torches that we pass are lit. And I sent the right brothers out there. Conrad Joseph, he gonna tell you the things that he been doing from the East Coast perspective. Prince Akili, that's my little brother. I mentored him, and he out there, he pressing, he never gave up. Brother Voodoo, he's our security. He gonna make sure things go right. But it's plenty more. I just can't name them, but they're there.
Thank you for that.
I know that this prison chapter is a real thing. When I thought about this prison chapter, I realized that we need I decided that we need to change the mentality of the gang members out there on the street to become a part of something. And now this is what I'm making them a part of something. I'm a movement, something that when they think about their legacy is going to read something other than that they was just gang members in their community, in their neighborhoods. We're going to continue to community build no matter where we at. And I just thank people like Prince Akili. I love him. And we're going to just continue to build this thing, y'all.
Great. We're going to take two more quick calls, and then I want to go over to you, Brother Joseph. Mikael, let's take you real quick, and then we want to get Brother Joseph into the conversation.
Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. This is Mikael, the Hebrew Israelite. I have heard all week on 1580 that about the FBI files of Martin Luther King, the FBI files, of course, Malcolm X, and they even had FBI files on John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, anybody to help black people. And the Hoover did have Marcus Garvey arrested and deported. Anything to help black people. And me, I don't have no felony, I don't have no misdemeanor. They've been wanting to get me. They got files on me. And because I'm a Hebrew Israelite and God is black. But, you know, I'm tired of living like this. I have to look over my shoulder. I'm following off. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say they did burn up all our black properties, but I'm going to pray to the God of Israel to take revenge on them, to burn up all their buildings. You know, what else can we do? I mean, we can't go out there and defeat them. We have a number. So I'm praying to the God of Israel to burn up all the FBI buildings for all the stuff that they done to us. And nobody's afraid. I ain't committing no crime. Y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you so much, Brother Mikael. And just very quickly, we want to get JW in on the conversation before we go over to Brother Joseph.
Great, fantastic.
What you got for us?
Oh, how you doing? I'm very encouraged to hear this. I'm grateful to hear it as well, because now that's, you know, that this paradigm shift really can come into existence, and it's possible that everybody can have an altered mind shift and change their mentality, and because this, I will call it psychological warfare that originated with the military, that the society uses against us, or the government, and all the above, the media. We can combat it and alter it and shift the script. And I'll leave it at that because the time is short.
Thank you so much for calling. Brother Joseph.
Melina, before you jump in real quick, I just wanted to say, study fast, train, fight. The fight of Black August means exactly that. You fight wherever you are with whatever you have. And, you know, a lot of times we feel defeatist. We feel like, you know, we can't fight these people. We can't possibly win. You know, I don't think that there's probably a more depressing place on earth than inside of a prison, where you are surrounded by concrete and wire and folks who hate your guts with high-powered rifles. And again, remembering where where we are and what we're talking about, this is Black August that was created by brothers who stood up in the prison system. And they said, we're going to do something. We're going to do something. We are going to fight. We're not going out of here on our knees. As George Jackson said, you will never find me among the broken men. That's what George Jackson said. Another one of our heroes, Brother Al Prentice Bunchy Carter. People are fond of recalling one of the things that he has said to have said. He said, if you don't do nothing but spit, do something. So yes, prayer will absolutely has a place in our fight for liberation. But you got to do a little bit more than call on God. Call on God for strength to throw a rock or spit in somebody's eye.
Right. I just typed in the chat, there's a Dead Prez lyric, when you run out of bullets, grab rocks, right? I want to take the next couple of minutes, and then we'll expand on what you just offered, Sister Tandasi's way, on the other side. But I want to introduce Joseph Langdon to the conversation. Brother Joseph, as Brother Jamu pointed out, you've been building the prison chapter work on the East Coast. Can you just introduce yourself a little bit and talk about why you got into it? And we only have about a couple minutes, and then we'll pick back up on the other side.
Yes, how y'all doing? I'm Joseph Langdon. I'm from Brooklyn. I was in prison for 22 years. And while I was incarcerated, I read George Jackson's book, Soul Dad Brothers, and it changed the whole mindset. And it made me more of a warrior. I already had that warrior spirit in me, but reading his book and being in the same circumstances as he was, in terms of segregation, beat by the police, witnessing people die, witnessing people come to prison innocently, I told myself when I get out that I was going to keep this torch alive. not only that, I didn't want to just embody everything that George Jackson said. I wanted to actually do it over time. And I knew that I would have to align myself with people that's incarcerated still. Just because I'm free, I still feel incarcerated because a lot of my comrades is in there, especially Jay Burton, who's been a supporter of mine. And I'm on the streets. He's been supporting me as if he was out here. So building Black Lives Matter prison chapter on the East Coast has been very simplistic for me because I'm just living what I believe, and people are attracted to radiance and strength. But I do want to say the reason why I even partook in the international movement of Black Lives Matter prison chapter is because when George Jackson passed away, his life got snatched from him August 21st, 1971. We know and understand that New York City had an uprising as well, you know, in the prison system up there. And that showed me that the spirit is worldwide. It's not just in California. It's just not in, you know, San Quentin. It's just not in Soledad. It's everywhere. And I just want to keep that alive and make sure people understand that your kids is the next people to be slaughtered by these people if we don't have them conscious and, you know, aware of what's going on. So that's why I rock with Black Lives Matter prison chapter, because I don't want nobody else to be a victim of the circumstances that we've been through. Not only that, Jay Burton has been really, like, I speak on Jay because I deal with him every day and I see him every day suffering in there, right? So he's somebody that keep me in tune with what's going on. So I always could look at him and see where I don't want to be again, right? And with that alone, it allows me to speak to other people about prison and becoming a victim, you know, because a lot of times they say you're a criminal, but those are the things people are teaching us in the streets. So it goes back to the streets. We got to teach people how to decriminalize their mindset. And that's what I think prison chapter is about, you know?
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And it's also about remembering that the greatest criminals are the systems that lock our brothers up, that lock our people up. The system is the biggest criminal. The system is the biggest criminal. So how do we topple those walls that dare to put human beings, God's creations, in cages, right? And, you know, we've talked about Brother Jama was just 16 years old when he was put in. Prince Akili was 15 years old. That's a criminal system. That's a criminal system. My faith as a Muslim says that until you deal with the injustice of the system, then you don't blame the people. You topple that system. And so when we come forward, we'll check in on that. Much more to come with Tandasizwe Chimarenga, Brother Jamu, and Brother Joseph Langdon talking about Black August.
More of BLM's This Is Not a Drill up next. We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Former President Joe Biden says minority communities are under attack by the Trump administration.
You know, and they're doing it all too often with the help of a Congress that's just sitting on the sidelines.
Speaking at the annual gala of the National Bar Association, which is the nation's oldest and largest network of black legal professionals, Biden warned that gains made during his term are being rolled back and called the current fight the most serious since the 1960s. Prosecutors want a longer prison sentence for Sean Diddy Combs, who was convicted on 2 counts of transporting for prostitution. He faces up to 10 years per count. They're also fighting his request for $50 million bail ahead of his October 3rd sentencing. And Black Illinois Congressman Danny Davis is retiring at 83 and will not seek a 16th term. He's endorsing State Senator LaShawn Ford to succeed him. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Let's be real. Student loans can be super stressful, but the Student Loan Empowerment Network is here to help with free one-on-one counseling, legal aid, and more. Learn more at studentloanhelp.dfpi.ca.gov or call 888-774-2227.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready? Drop it! Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Yeah.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you, thank you.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You're listening to BLM's This Is Not a Drill. Now, back to the conversation.
And we're in our Black August conversation, fast, study, train, and fight. Fast, study, train, and fight. Grateful to have Sister Tanda Sizwe Chimarenga, Brother Joseph Langdon, and Brother Jamu on. Brother Jamu, I know that you're doing what you can to be with us and that your phone might be dying. So I want to get you in real quick before we might lose you. So I think Tanda Sizwe raised a really important point about the fight and how we fight. Can you talk about the importance of the fight and not losing your spirit as you engage in this fight? Brother Jamu? Okay, so we might have lost him. We're grateful that he was on with us for a moment. I also want to talk about political prisoners because Sister Tanda Sizwe, one of the things that is often brought up when we think about political prisoners, people think about people like Mutulu Shakur, Dr. Mutulu Shakur. People think about people like Herman Bell. People think about people like lots of others, Jalil Muntakeen and Baba Sekou Odinga, right, as political prisoners, people who went in knowing that they had a particular political positioning. One of the things I really appreciate about Black August and about the California prisons in particular is that people are political prisoners not just because they were conscious when they went in. Baba Sekou knew what he was doing, right, when he freed Mama Sada. But when we talk about George Jackson, he in many ways was very much like a Brother Jamu, 16-year-old child who was not politicized yet, but became this tremendous force in Black freedom struggle inside. So can you just give us a quick definition of who we're talking about when we talk about political prisoners?
For us, when we talk about political prisoners, we're not talking about, and I know, this is a source of contention, and we're all family, we're comrades, we can work it out, we can argue it out, but we don't necessarily hold the position that just because you Black in this country and got locked up, that you're a political prisoner. Of course, the air we breathe, as Mother Fannie Lou Hamer said, is politically polluted air. All things are political. Of course, it is the conditions that create crime and criminality in our communities. We understand that, but we're talking about a movement for national liberation. There were those in the Black liberation movement coming out of the civil rights movement in the late 60s that saw the condition of Black people as Malcolm taught us, see it in terms of global, international, a human rights struggle, not a civil rights struggle. So there are those who believe that what we are struggling for is national liberation, not simply integration into this burning house that Dr. King talked about. And that is where the issue of political prisoners comes in. You're talking about people who have made a commitment to challenging the state, challenging oppression, and as a result of that, they have been targeted. People who have created or committed actions against the state in defense of Black people and for national liberation and been targeted and imprisoned. That's different from just, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be thugging in my community. And so the reason we say that is because this country attempts to criminalize Black resistance. That's one of the reasons why we don't know about Black resistance. Our movements and our freedom fighters have been criminalized. So we say there's a distinction. We also believe, again, because Black August comes out of the California prison system, you have what we call the George Jackson political prisoner, the George Jackson class of prisoners. These are folks who go into the prisons for absolutely no quote unquote political reason at all, but they become educated, they become aware, and they make a conscious commitment to fight for the liberation of Black people, to fight against the state. But as a result of that, they have now become targeted for extra repression. Other than just being Black in prison, which is hell, these particular class of people have now become targeted for extra oppression. They end up going to isolation for more frivolous reasons. They stay in there longer for more frivolous reasons. Their privileges are taken away from them, and they get attacked and beaten for no particular reason. It's designed to break them because they've made that commitment. And so we say these are who we're talking about when we talk about political prisoners and prisoners of war.
That's right. So we're talking about people who went in consciously because they were engaged in political work, targeted for their political work, affiliations with organizations like the Panthers, like the Black Liberation Army. And there's also people like, and so if I think about it contemporarily, we also think Sister Brittany Martin would be one of those classic political prisoners. She's snatched up for leading a protest in Sumter, South Carolina, right?
Absolutely. She was targeted,
She's targeted for that. But then we also have people like Brother Jamu, who went in
Baba Akili is pointing at himself.
Yes, and Baba Akili, who Brother Jamu is in 36 years. Why? And in solitary 10 years. Why? It's because of who he is politically. Brother Joseph, did you find that you would define yourself as in that second category as well?
Of course. When I went to prison at the age of 18, I had no understanding of anything Black besides slavery, right? I just knew about slavery, right? Unlike the average kid at that age knows about. When I got in prison, I met a brother named Kevin Rashid Johnson, who's a political prisoner in Virginia. He's been in prison for the last 30 years. And he's the one who gave me my first book, Revolutionary Suicide. And I didn't understand it at first. And I started asking questions, yo, what's this? And then he used to break it down. And then I read George Jackson book. And that right there, that book, that Pacific book specifically changed how I thought, changed how I write, made me pick up a dictionary. It started making me feel stronger. And that's because I was going through the same circumstances as him. And I feel like a lot of people that go in prison and they get that type of literature, that emerges out of you some way, somehow, because George Jackson said you only leave broken or a rebel. You know what I'm saying? So it's either or, is no in between. You're going to be broken or you're going to be a rebel. And when you grasp a hold of what he's saying and you overstand it, you become that rebel or you become broken, either or. So I definitely can identify with going in there, not politically conscious. And, you know, after a while, you're surrounded by nothing but dirty cops, it's just real animalistic in there. So you have to find some type of peace. And that peace was for me to fight back, you know, and I just brought it home with me.
Baba Akili, I'd love for you to hop in the conversation. You don't often talk about your time in prison. You'll stay in the penitentiary, but you don't talk about how that raised your consciousness. You want to talk about your experiences just for the next couple of minutes?
Yes, very quickly. I went in a petty hoodlum, Greg Terry, and I came out of Keeley. And luckily, when I went into prison, the times were changing. The Black Power movement was developing and advancing, and brothers inside. I mean, we started a black prison organization that the other prisoners were very scared of at first. And they was like, I ain't gonna mess up my parole. And I know when I went to the board, I got an 8-month set off. When I was planning to get out, they gave me an additional 8 months because we started that program in the penitentiary. So that extended my time. One of the things about being locked up, certainly for me anyway, it really gave you a chance, one, to connect with people who had common sets of conditions and interests, two, to take what you were believing and support and advance that. And then the third thing was it gave you this sense of you can do something, and that's certainly what happened with me. I remember when they locked down the whole penitentiary I was in for a whole week. All of us was on isolation when George Jackson went into that courthouse because they actually tried to block us from seeing it and hearing about it. So that changed my life for two reasons. One, the brothers who were there, who were supportive, and the other thing was the time outside. It was the height of the Black Power and Black consciousness movement, and I'm fortunate. I'm not encouraging people to get locked up to change their lives. I ain't supporting that. But so I'm not advocating that. However, there certainly is a politicization that can happen when you get locked up.
Thank you for that. When we come forward, I want to check in and just kind of check in on how we get involved in the fight as Ta-Nehisi's Way is lifting up. And also what's happening with Black August Los Angeles. I know that there's a Martyrs Tour. So I want to talk about those things. We won't have very long, but we can have a quick call to action when we come forward talking about Black August right here on This Is Not a Drill.
BLM, This Is Not a Drill continues when we come forward.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZzzQuil Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah.
We're
California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
BLM's This Is Not a Drill on KBLA Talk 1580.
Melina, if I could.
Yes, and this is a voice of Tandasizwe Chimaranga, who's about to hop back in. Go ahead, Tandasizwe.
Real quick, for your audience members who might not know anything about not only Black August or the reasons behind it, there's a white professor by the name of Ulrich B. Phillips. He's long past. But Ulrich B. Phillips, he was a historian, wrote a book on American history that talked about the fact that Black people were happy during enslavement. And if you think about it, if you do the research, you can see where there has been in the last few years concern about the textbooks that are being used in our schools. They primarily come out of Texas, which we know to be a very conservative / reactionary state. So when we talk about the need for study and understanding and resistance, that we have been taught that we did not resist, that we were happy when we were enslaved and saddened when slavery ended. And that's one of the things, that's one of the reasons why study is such a critical pillar for the brothers who created Black August. We have to study and know our history. We fought back, and in many instances, we won.
Right. The study is important, to study the legacy of oppression, but more important, as you're saying, the legacy of resistance and winning those fights.
Victories. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we mentioned Rochelle McGee. It took a long time, but Rochelle McGee died in his cousin's home, right?
Yes,
did not
did.
die behind the walls, right? Baba Matulu, I know when Baba Matulu came home, I thought he was going to be all decrepit. Baba Matulu came bouncing in the front door.
Bouncing in
the front door. He would roll up on our BLM meetings, and it felt like he still was in the 70s, because he would hit us and go, "Yeah, I'm outside. Don't tell nobody."
Warrior spirit.
He liked to roll up where you at, and like you might be eating somewhere and he'll just be sitting outside, right? But those are victories. Those are victories that they came home. Yes,
they came home. And, Sekou Odinga, when he got out, he came and spoke at Cal State Northridge, ended up riding a bicycle around the campus.
That's right. That's right.
What's even more important is that they pass it on to us too, and it's not going in vain. A lot of them have to pass the torch, and we have to continue to pass the torch to the younger generation. That's who I'm focused on, because I know and understand that's where it starts at. Just like you can teach a criminal, you can teach them to be a revolutionary.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh,
that's
Absolutely.
right. That's right. Baba Keely, we've been reading. Last year we both read, because one of my favorite books, we gave you a book, right? I Am Maroon. And I wonder if you want to talk just a little bit about that book. So when we say study, I read Blood in My Eye every year in August. It's the first book that I assigned for my class. When we come back in August, I feel like Black August every year, especially this year though. Blood in My Eye is important. But we read Russell Maroon Schultz's book a couple months ago, and I gifted you a copy. Baba Akili. One of the teachings is never stop fighting for your own liberation. Do you want to talk, just quickly take a minute to talk about that?
I was inspired by that because he and I are were the same age. We had gone through some of the similar circumstances, and so I could identify with it. I was inspired by it. It reminded me of what indomitable strength we have as a people. I mean, the fact that he escaped, at least 4 times, and what he did and his consciousness. And once again, I connected with it because I that was happening during my, we were the same age. And so that was an inspiration to me. And I'm thank you so much for giving me that book. And then finally, I think, and I want to encourage other people to read it, because particularly those folks who are coming out, who may not have come all the way, reading that book or being exposed to that book, I think can help them see, value, and experience why it's important that they turn their lives around and get involved.
That's right. That's right. And Russell Maroon Schultz, who was a traditional political prisoner, he was an organizer and captured. He escaped prison in 1977 and then again in 1980, and continued to say, I'm not going to let these walls hold me. Never stop fighting for your own liberation. Never stop fighting for your own liberation. Sister Tandasizwe, I just want to bring it back to you, because Black August Los Angeles does tremendous work all month long. One of the things that you're leading, and we've been present for the send-off, but I haven't been able to be on the tour. Baba Akili, you've been on the tour, the Martyrs Tour that you do every year. Can you talk about that and how people sign up for it?
Absolutely. The Martyrs Tour takes place the 3rd weekend of August every year. This year it's August 23rd. We gather at 11 a.m. at Chuco's Justice Center, 7625 South Central Avenue. And we gather at 11, and from noon until 3, we travel through sites in South Los Angeles of resistance, sites of rebellion, sites where members of the Black Panther Party, members of the Nation of Islam, as an example, were assaulted, attacked by the Los Angeles Police Department, sites where they also fought back and were able to repel the Los Angeles Police Department. Of course, we go through Florence and Normandy. We go through the origin of the Watts Rebellion, where the Nation of Islam was attacked in 1962, 41st and Central, where the SWAT team was first utilized for the very first time, the Al Prentice Bunty Carter Free Clinic, an institution established by Black people for the people. So this is a very uplifting. It talks about resistance, an uplifting, resilient tour that we go through Black Los Angeles. We ask a donation, but no one will be turned away for lack of funds. We have a 56, I believe, 56 seat passenger bus, and people if they're unable to get a seat on the bus, they're welcome to caravan along with us. We will have the Wi-Fi capabilities where people will be able to hear the narration, which will be led by former Panthers and activists such as Harold Welton and Taliba Shakir. For more information, people can check out the Black August Los Angeles Instagram page. That's at Black August Los Angeles. Again, we are taking reservations, RSVPs, and donations for the Martyrs Tour in particular. You can find that information on the Instagram page. You will also see a calendar of the other Black August events that are happening throughout the month: training, fasting, political programming, collective training during the mornings, etc.
And that's Black August Los Angeles on Instagram. We'll be sure to reshare from BLMLA as well. And Brother Joseph, do you still have your podcast?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you just quickly give us information on how we tune into your podcast?
All right, you could come to YouTube, official Prison Talk, and we speak about a lot of the injustices, and we speak to former prisoners who made it out and, survived, and some of them are successful at this day and time. So we try to highlight the good about prison instead of just the violence all day.
Thank you. Thank you. And people can check you out, Baba Keely, in about 30 minutes. Where you going to be at?
Grand Park at the at the Gloria Molina stage in Grand Park. We're going to be protesting. We're going to, rage against the regime. So come out and join us.
Yes.
And
yes.
also, Melina, real quick, for more Black August programming, people can check out Black Liberation Media, also on YouTube. That's where I have a show. It's called Rootwork. So Black August Los Angeles on Instagram, Black Liberation Media on YouTube. Of course, Black Lives Matter Grassroots in Leimert Park, etc. Look for us all over the place.
Thank you. And we want to also uplift everybody that's a part of this show. If you've appreciated the way that we've been able to broadcast in the way that we have, it's because of a young sister named President Morgan Barnes has come in and upgraded our show. President is a 3.8 GPA student at Howard University. She was just told that she does not have funding to go back for her junior year. So we're doing everything that we can to support President. If you have $5 to donate, please consider donating it to President Morgan Barnes. You can go to tinyurl.com/President Morgan Barnes. Again, we'll share out that link as well as the link to support Brother Ajamu. We want to see you in Grand Park at 11 a.m. to see Baba Keely and Joseph, and then join us again on next Sunday, August 10th. Will be at 7 p.m. at 3423 West 43rd Place. You can follow BLM Grassroots on all social media, and I'm Doc Melly Mel on all social media. Until next week, thank you all for being here. Peace out.
Thank you for having me.